And we're going to get into both the Jets and Canucks matchups in the postseason. We're going to start with the Jets, Craig. I know you were on the broadcast on TSN on Thursday night. Their first-round series with the Colorado Avalanche. Jets defeated Colorado in all three meetings this season. What's the one factor you feel might decide this series between these two Central divisions?
So if I had to just put it in simple terms, Connor Hellebuyck. And it's not just Connor Hellebuyck and his brilliance. I mean, the best goals against in the National Hockey League this year, wins the Jennings, he'll win the Vezina. He's been simply brilliant. And when you have that type of goaltender in the net, it's comforting for the team. You don't feel tense. You're not sitting there going, what's he going to do? He never gives you any type of picture that he's vulnerable. Mm-hmm. His feet are calm. He reads the play so exceptionally well. And then he's got outstanding talent. And when you consider that the games in the playoffs become tight when they're really good teams, and Colorado's a good team, Winnipeg's a good team, you get down to the margins, and Connor Hellebuyck wins on the margins, and that's what you got to do. And conversely, when you look at the Colorado Avalanche, Georgiev has been awful. Yep. And, you know, you don't want to be considered leaky. Even, and when you consider what he did, since March 30th, he's played 5 games. Nashville, Dallas, Edmonton, Vegas, and Winnipeg. Save percentage of .829. 829. Like, that is not getting it done. No. I believe that the Colorado Avalanche up front have some firepower. We know what kind of firepower they have. I don't think they have the same depth as the Winnipeg Jets, and Georgiev will be their Achilles heel. I'm taking the Jets all the way in this one. And people go, is that an upset? Not for me, it's not. The better team, I think, will prevail.
Well, and it may be, as I said on the show this week, the most lopsided goalie matchup. Oh. Or one of them maybe one of the most lopsided goalie matchups in the history of the playoffs, I think.
Well, it would be one thing if the goaltender doesn't have the same kind of status as Connor Hellebuyck. Sure. This has nothing to do about status. This has to do with being so poor in your game and not being able to lend your team any sense of calm or strength. I mean, just think about, they're up 3-0 against Vegas on Sunday. They lose that game 4-3 in overtime. I mean, he's getting pulled from games. He doesn't even last a period. Not good enough come playoff time, and the Winnipeg Jets are a really good balanced team.
The next two teams we're talking about don't have an issue with goaltending. That would be the Vancouver Canucks and Nashville Predators. Terrific goaltending matchup here, Craig. Here are the odds brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Vancouver, -152 favorite to win Game 1 at home. The Canucks, 14-1 to win the Cup. They're fresh off winning the division for the first time in over a decade. Not many people had the Canucks in this position going into this season, of course. You know, looking at this matchup from your perspective, this is a Nashville team you shouldn't overlook. They were so good at the end of the year, as you know. How do you feel Vancouver stacks up against?
Okay, so just before I get to that, do we have any video from the preseason preview?
I don't know. I'm sure we do. I think it might have been
darn. I could have said I had the Canucks in the playoffs.
Yeah?
But if there's video, wow, I'll just make a liar out of me. I didn't have the Canucks in the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost a bet. Jason Gregor, your friend from Edmonton, I have to buy him dinner because he had them in.
Good on you, Gregor.
Yeah. You watch where the Vancouver Canucks and what they've done, and you consider that Rick Tocchet came in just after the halfway point of last year, and I think that gave him a real ability to get a sense of the players, and the players get a sense of Rick Tocchet and what he was looking for. Adam Foote came in, Sergei Gonchar came in. They trade for Philip Hronek. They sign Carson Soucy, they sign Ian Cole, they get Zadorov in a really good trade, and that really improved it. The Vancouver Canucks are a very good defensive team, and all the moves they made on the blue line really contributed to that.
And you've been asking them to do that for years.
You say that they're not going to get better until they address that. Well, they addressed it, and they did get better. And Thatcher Demko's not going to give anything up to Juuse Saros. Quinn Hughes is not giving up anything to Roman Josi. And then you start to look at the offensive prowess of the Vancouver Canucks. And they haven't been great offensively, but I think that is better than the Nashville Predators. The Nashville Predators are hard, they're determined, they're quick. It will not be an easy series for the Vancouver Canucks, but I think they have enough to be able to push their way through. And I think Rick Tocchet, since March 1st, has done a really nice job of really emphasizing to his team, you know, the playoffs are hard. Yep. Every inch you have to fight for. Every puck is going to be a battle. The wall battles, understanding that everything is more intense and more competitive. And I think he's got his team into a place where they're ready for the challenges of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
There's such an unknown, right? We don't know how they're going to perform in the postseason. That's what makes that series so fascinating. Ottawa Senators fans, Calgary Flames fans, it's been a tough year for both of you fan bases, but stay tuned because later in the show, Craig has an assessment of the past and the future for those two teams.